Are you a Pi network pioneer still wondering if your coins will ever have real value? Have you been mining Pi on your phone for months, maybe even years, asking yourself, when will this finally become real money? Well, what if I told you that moment has already arrived? Right now, in China, something incredible is happening. People are walking into a local convenience store, grabbing what they need, snacks, drinks, groceries, and paying with PiCoin. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't theory anymore. This isn't just virtual mining or test transactions. This is real-world adoption, happening right now as you watch this video. In today's episode, we're going to take you straight inside this groundbreaking Pi convenience store in China, a glimpse into the future of everyday crypto payments. You'll see what products people are actually buying with Pi, how these transactions are processed, and why this moment could change everything for the entire Pi community. But that's not all. We'll also explore why this matters for every single pioneer across the globe, and how this could be the first spark of a worldwide movement toward mainstream Pi acceptance. Let's take my time, greet and welcome you all, Pi pioneers from every corner of our planet. Whether you're watching from the bustling streets of Mumbai, the vibrant markets of Lagos, the beaches of Rio de Janeiro, the mountains of Mexico City, or anywhere else on this amazing planet, I'm absolutely thrilled to share this groundbreaking news that's going to reshape everything you thought you knew about Pi Network's future. Before we dive into this game-changing announcement, I want to see our global Pi family unite right here. Just join our community by smash subscribe button and ring notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, comment PI Network to the moon along with your country name to show the world how truly global our Pi movement has become. This is your moment to be part of something historic, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why Pi Network is proving once again that it's not just another cryptocurrency project, but a true revolution toward an inclusive, decentralized financial system that actually works for real people with real needs. Picture this. You walk into a small convenience store somewhere in China. But this isn't just any ordinary store. Right there on the storefront, you see something that makes you stop and stare. The Pi Network logo. Bright, clear, and unmistakable. You step inside and you notice the shelves are stocked with everyday items. Snacks, drinks, household essentials, and even toys for kids. Everything you'd expect to find in a neighborhood convenience store. But here's what makes this place special. At the checkout counter, there's a sign that says, Pi accepted here. And it's not just for show. Real customers are actually using their PiCoin to purchase these items. The same Pi that millions of pioneers have been mining on their phones is now being exchanged for physical products. Think about what this means for a moment. For years, critics have said that Pi Network is just a mobile app with no real utility. They've questioned whether the coins would ever be worth anything. They've wondered if pioneers were wasting their time. But this convenience store changes everything. It proves that Pi can move from your digital wallet to an actual transaction. It demonstrates that merchants are willing to accept it. And most importantly, it shows that there's demand from customers who want to spend their Pi coins. This store isn't just selling products, it's selling a vision. A vision where cryptocurrency isn't just for traders and investors, but for everyday people buying everyday things. Where you don't need to convert your crypto to traditional money first. Where blockchain technology becomes invisible, working quietly in the background while you simply tap your phone and complete your purchase. The owner of this store took a risk. They became an early adopter in their community. And now they're part of a historic moment in Pi Network's journey. They're showing other merchants that accepting Pi is not only possible, but practical. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for China, but what does this mean for me? Let me break it down for you, because this development has massive implications for pioneers everywhere. First, this proves the concept of real-world utility. Every cryptocurrency needs to answer one fundamental question. What can you actually do with it? Bitcoin started as digital money. Ethereum powers smart contracts and applications. So what about Pi? This convenience store provides a clear answer. Pi can be used for retail transactions. It can buy you a bottle of water, a bag of chips, or a toy for your child. That might sound simple, but it's profound. Because once one store accepts Pi, others will follow. Once one country shows it works, other nations will take notice. Second, this creates a blueprint that can be replicated globally. The infrastructure exists, the payment system works, the technology is proven. Now, any merchant anywhere in the world can look at this Chinese convenience store and say, if they can do it, so can we. Imagine walking into a store in Vietnam and seeing Pi accepted here. Picture a small shop in Indonesia with the Pi logo in the window. Think about a market in Nigeria, a cafe in Brazil, or a bookstore in India accepting PiCoin for their products. This isn't fantasy. This is the natural next step. Third, this gives your mind Pi tangible value. When you open your Pi app and see your balance, those numbers represent something real now. They represent purchasing power. They represent the ability to exchange your digital assets for physical goods. That psychological shift is incredibly important for the entire Pi ecosystem. Fourth, this demonstrates community power. Pi Network isn't controlled by a handful of wealthy investors or large institutions. It's powered by millions of pioneers like you. And when communities come together, they create real economic change. The Chinese Pi community organized this. They convinced a merchant to take a chance. They supported the store with their purchases. That's grassroots adoption at its finest. Finally, this creates momentum. Success breeds success. When other merchants see that a convenience store is successfully accepting Pi, they'll want to join in. When other countries see China leading the way, they'll want to participate. This single store could spark a wave of adoption that spreads across continents. Let's zoom out for a moment and talk about what this really represents. This isn't just about one store or one cryptocurrency. This is about the future of how we interact with money and technology. For years, we've heard about Web3, blockchain, and decentralization. These terms have been thrown around in tech conferences and online forums. But for most people, they remained abstract concepts. Something that might happen someday, but not something you could touch or experience. The Pi convenience store changes that narrative. It brings Web3 into the physical world. It makes blockchain technology tangible and accessible. When a parent uses Pi to buy a toy for their child, they're participating in a decentralized economy. They might not think about the underlying technology, and that's exactly the point. The best technology works seamlessly in the background. This is what mainstream adoption looks like. It's not about everyone becoming a crypto expert or understanding the technical details of blockchain. It's about making the experience so simple and practical that anyone can participate without a second thought. Think about how you use the internet today. You probably don't think about HTTP protocols or server architecture when you browse a website. You just click and go. That's the level of simplicity that cryptocurrency needs to achieve for mass adoption. And Pi Network, through initiatives like this convenience store, is moving in that direction. The store also demonstrates an important principle. Cryptocurrency should empower local communities. It shouldn't just flow from users to massive centralized platforms. It should circulate within neighborhoods, supporting local businesses and creating local economic opportunities. When you spend Pi at a local store, that merchant can then use those coins to pay their suppliers, who might be pioneers themselves, or they can exchange it with other community members for services. This creates a circular economy where value stays within the community rather than being extracted by distant corporations. This is the promise of decentralized finance. Not to replace traditional systems overnight, but to offer alternatives, to give people more choices, to create more equitable opportunities for those who have been excluded from conventional financial systems. Now, I want to be completely transparent with you. While this convenience store is exciting news, we also need to maintain realistic expectations about Pi Network's journey. First, One store doesn't mean universal adoption. This is a beginning, not an ending. For Pi to truly succeed, we need thousands of stores across dozens of countries accepting it. We need online platforms, service providers, and major retailers joining in. That scale of adoption takes time, effort, and continued community support. Second, merchant education is crucial. Many business owners don't understand cryptocurrency or how to accept it safely. They have concerns about volatility, security, and regulations. For Pi Network to expand, there needs to be clear guidance, simple tools, and reliable support for merchants who want to participate. Third, regulatory frameworks vary dramatically by country. What works in one nation might face legal obstacles in another. Cryptocurrency regulations are still evolving worldwide, and Pi Network must navigate these complexities carefully. The community needs to work with local authorities and comply with financial regulations wherever they operate. Fourth, technology infrastructure needs to continue improving. Payment systems must be fast, reliable, and user-friendly. Transaction fees should remain low. Security must be airtight. If customers have bad experiences, slow transactions, technical errors, or security issues, they'll lose confidence quickly. Fifth, value stability matters for retail adoption. Merchants need some predictability. If Pi's value fluctuates wildly, stores will be hesitant to accept it. This doesn't mean Pi needs to be perfectly stable, but extreme volatility creates challenges for everyday commerce. However, here's what gives me optimism. Every successful cryptocurrency faced similar challenges early on. Bitcoin was once considered too complex and impractical for regular people. Ethereum was dismissed as too experimental. Yet both overcame skepticism through persistent development and community support. Pi Network has something special, a massive, engaged community of pioneers worldwide. Millions of people who believe in the vision and are actively working to make it reality. That human capital is incredibly valuable. When people are motivated and organized, they can overcome significant obstacles. The convenience store in China exists because pioneers in that community made it happen. They didn't wait for permission or perfect conditions, they took initiative. And that same spirit exists in Pi communities around the world. So, what can pioneers in your country do to follow China's example? How can you help bring Pi adoption to your local community? Let me share some practical ideas. First, start conversations with local merchants. Visit small businesses in your neighborhood, convenience stores, cafes, bookshops, or service providers. Explain what Pi Network is and how accepting it could benefit their business. Emphasize that they'd be early adopters in your country, positioning themselves at the forefront of new technology. Second, organize local pioneer meetups. When communities gather in person, incredible things happen. You can coordinate strategies, share resources, and support each other's efforts. Maybe together you can approach larger merchants or create local directories of Pi-friendly businesses. Third, educate and demonstrate. Many people have heard of cryptocurrency but don't understand how it works in practice. Offer to show merchants exactly how a Pi transaction happens. Make it real and tangible for them. Remove the mystery and fear around the technology. Fourth, create demand. If merchants see that there's genuine customer interest in paying with Pi, they'll be more motivated to accept it. Express your preference for using Pi. Ask store owners if they've considered accepting it. Show them there's a market waiting. Fifth, document and share your successes. If a local business in your area starts accepting Pi, celebrate it. Share the news on social media, in Pi Network communities, and with other local pioneers. Success stories inspire more success. They show others that it's possible and practical. Sixth, be patient and persistent. Not every merchant will say yes immediately. Some will need time to consider. Others might wait to see how early adopters fare. That's natural and okay. Keep building relationships and trust in your community. Remember, the Chinese pioneers who created this convenience store didn't do it overnight. It took planning, coordination, and commitment. But they proved it's possible. And if they can do it, so can pioneers in Vietnam, Indonesia, Nigeria, Brazil, India, and every other country where Pi community exists. The question isn't whether Pi adoption will spread globally. The question is, will you be part of making it happen in your country? Looking forward, what can we expect from Pi Network? While I can't predict the future, I can identify some trends. First, we'll likely see more merchants accepting Pi, especially in countries with strong pioneer communities. Asia, Africa, and Latin America have vibrant Pi ecosystems that could become early adoption hotspots. Second, online commerce could become a major frontier. Imagine e-commerce sites accepting Pi for products and services, freelance platforms where you can pay with Pi, digital content creators accepting Pi for subscriptions. Third, the pioneer community will continue driving innovation. Developers are creating applications, tools, and services that use Pi. As these projects mature, they'll add more utility and value to the network. The journey won't be perfectly smooth. There will be challenges and obstacles. But the overall direction is clear. Pi Network is moving from theory to practice, from mobile mining to real-world commerce. The convenience store in China is proof of that progress. The Pi convenience store in China isn't just a news story, it's an invitation to be part of something bigger than yourself, an invitation to help build a new kind of economy. Every major technological shift started with people who believed before there was proof, who took action before it was safe. The pioneers who created this convenience store are those kinds of people. And you can be too. Whether you're in Vietnam, Indonesia, Nigeria, Brazil, India, or anywhere else, you have a role to play. Your daily mining matters. Your conversations with local businesses matter. Your participation matters. Together, millions of pioneers are creating something extraordinary. Don't let fear or uncertainty stop you. Yes, there are risks and unknowns, but there are also opportunities. Opportunities to be at the forefront of financial innovation. Opportunities to support your local community. The convenience store in China today could be the first of thousands tomorrow, and each one will be opened by pioneers who decided to take action. So ask yourself, what role will you play in Pi Network's future? Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button right now. It really helps us reach more pioneers like you. Write in the comments, Pi Network to the moon, along with your country name and flag. Let's build a massive list of countries. Are you from Vietnam, Indonesia, Nigeria, Brazil, India? Let's show the world how global our community is. If you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest Pi Network updates. Share this video with your fellow pioneers. Send it to your Pi Network group chats. The more people who see what's possible, the faster we can make Pi adoption a reality everywhere. Until next time, keep mining, keep building, and keep believing in the Pi Network vision. Together, we're creating the future of finance.